What's up, world renowned family? Welcome to episode 3 of Beyond the Velvet Rope podcast. I am your host, Neil Oates Jr. Go ahead and connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Neil Oates Speak Train or World Renowned Real Estate, and on Twitter at Neil Oates Speak or World Renowned RE. If you want to shoot me an email, you can feel free to do that at neil@worldrenownedrealestate.com. Now, this is your home for all things international and luxury real estate training wise, and we're going to jump right in on how to become a top performer, whether in the luxury niche or in the international niche. Now, the first thing that you have to ask is, do I have at least one niche where I am perceived as the expert? That's the very first question that you must ask yourself. Top performers normally have one or two niches where they are recognized experts. Niches can include geographical areas or market segments, such as relocation, probate, estates, or new homes. In this podcast, we're going to be talking about international or luxury. So could you be considered an expert or perceived an expert in either of those two niches? Now, how can you be perceived as an expert? One of the best ways is to answer this question with a yes. If you can't answer this next question with a yes, this is going to be one of your first steps. You need to go back, do your homework until your answer to this question is a yes. Can I accurately price properties without looking at comparable sales? Can I accurately price properties without looking at comparable sales? Because top performers have a deep knowledge of the inventory, they can usually price properties without looking at the comps. So you want to study the inventory and comparable sales, then predict selling prices. You should see the homes in person rather than viewing them online. And after doing that, you want to track the final sales prices and how accurately your predictions were. So an example would be if you're trying to become a luxury real estate specialist in a specific zip code, geographical area, or type of property, whether it is, single family homes, condo, townhouse, or a specific style as far as design is concerned, you want to get out, take a look at the properties in person, preview those, know what's going on in your market, and then see how well you can price these properties. Now, pricing the property does not mean how close can you get to the list price or the marketing position of the home, but you want to track it and see how close you were to where you actually believe the home would sell. That's going to lead into our third question. Do you price listings close to where they can sell? Do you price your listings close to where they sell? Now, if you don't have listings, or if you're newer and you've priced listings, or the answer is no to this is a big area, a huge area for you to work on. So to evaluate your performance in this area, look at the last 10 properties you listed. Did at least 8 houses sell within 5% of your initial asking price? If not, you need to strengthen your pricing. So at least 5% of your initial asking price. That's not the last listing price or asking price, the initial ask price, because you want to become an expert. You want to be perceived as knowing where to position properties on the market to get them to close. The fourth question to ask, and we're hoping that this is an answer yes, to become a top performer either in the international market or in the luxury niche, because you want to be perceived. And the reason this is valuable for international business is because we first must become a domestic expert in order to gain the trust and earn those international referrals that are going to be coming in from our foreign real estate colleagues. So am I obtaining full commission on at least 80% of my listings? Am I obtaining full commission on at least 80% of my listings? Now, we're not going to talk specifically about commissions, but here's why this is so important. So to increase your commission rates, you want to determine what services will motivate sellers to list with you. I know that Gary Keller and Dave Jenks in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, we refer to it as the MREA or the Red Book. Listings are gifts from the real estate gods. So you want to make sure that you get as many listings as you can. And are you obtaining a full commission on those listings? So here are some ideas for helping you get or obtain a full commission on your 80% of your listings. So you want to promise a comprehensive social media marketing plan that includes a separate business page on Facebook that uses the property address as the name of the page. So this is a great workaround. We're always hearing, do you have a property specific real estate page? A property specific website. A way around that is you can make a property specific Facebook business page and let the property address be the name of the page. Great idea. And don't forget, internationally, that 70% of all Facebook traffic happens outside of the U.S. Question number 5, do I give sellers a written marketing plan as part of my listing presentation? So you want to create a profile of the seller's ideal buyer and then target their marketing efforts to the profile. So you want to create an ideal buyer, a profile for the ideal buyer, and then you want to create your marketing plan or target your marketing plan to the specific type of buyer. Your marketing plan should include, digital advertising that differentiate your services and those offered by competitors. I think that's it in a nutshell when asking, do you give a written marketing plan? Because we do not want to be reactive when we're either working internationally or in the luxury niche. We need to have a plan, a system, because people trust what's in writing. And when they see it, it looks as if you're used to it. This is how you always operate, and it makes you appear more professional. Do you contact past customers and your sphere of influence at least 6 times per year? This is we hear all different types of numbers, whether it's the 33 touch, the 12 touch, the 8x8, whatever it is. But today, it's easy to stay in contact with your sphere using social media, and you want to comment, not just like, but comment on what members of your sphere are posting. So send a video email to wish them happy birthdays or happy anniversary of buying your house. These are just a couple of ideas that you want to use. And while you're doing that, you don't only want to keep your touches to your sphere or to your followers online. At least twice a year, you do want to generate some type of face-to-face activity, even if that's a pop-by, if you're going to have some type of gathering, a social, and you invite your past sphere. Those are a few key ways for you to get in contact with, or a few ways for you to become an international or luxury top performer. Now we're going to transition this episode over to what's happening internationally with Canadian buyers. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just take a quick snapshot of what's happening with Canadian buyers in the U.S. And a lot of this information is going to be coming from the National Association of Realtors, also Florida Realtor. So go on and check out floridarealtor.org or realtor.nar. Get all of this information, especially if you have a desire to become an international powerhouse, international expert when it comes to Canadian buyers. So Canada retained its spot as the number 2 international investor in U.S. properties this past year, according to the 2017 National Association of Realtors International Activity in the U.S. Real Estate Report. So these are a few key findings from the 2017 report. The first one is that Canadians more than doubled their spending on U.S. properties. That's very important to hear. Canadians more than doubled their spending on U.S. properties. Now you're going to hear a number, and I know that we're always hearing about exchange rates and strength of the dollar, but I want you to understand that Canadians more than doubled their spending on U.S. properties in 2017 versus 2016. The Canadian to U.S. dollar exchange rate remained well below the average of 1.6 for the past several years. Overall, fewer Canadians purchased U.S. properties compared to 2016. So fewer Canadians purchased properties. However, between April 2016 and March 2017, Canadians spent $19 billion on U.S. real estate compared to $8.9 billion the previous year of 2016. So there are fewer people buying, but there is 19 billion versus 8.9 billion. That's very, very important. Now, hopefully you all know without even me answering this question, what do you think the most popular state for Canadian buyers are? If you guessed Florida, you are absolutely correct. So of the nearly 20 billion in U.S. real estate purchases, almost 7 billion was in Florida alone. Other states that Canadians are purchasing in, they have remained constant for the most part, and these are warm weather states for the majority of it. But then there's also one caveat, and it's for ease of entry. So that's going to be Texas, California, New Jersey, and Arizona. Now, while we had fewer people buying, fewer Canadians buying in the U.S., but spending more money, one thing has not changed, and that is most Canadians are still using cash to purchase. So most Canadians are still using cash to purchase. And all that means for us is that, or not all, but what this means is that there could be some education issues for Canadian buyers when it comes to U.S. Mortgages. But it also means that they may not be subject to different property conditions that could disqualify financing. So keep your eyes and ears open if you're working with Canadian buyers. That's something that we always want to keep you abreast of. Make sure that you're doing your homework. And as I stated previously in this podcast, you want to focus on those 6 keys to become a top performer internationally and in the luxury niche. So that's going to do it for this episode of Beyond the Velvet Rope. Make sure that you get those questions into us either on social media, that's Instagram and Facebook at Neil Oates Speak Train or World Renowned Real Estate, and on Twitter you can send us a message or tweet us at Neil Oates Speak or World Renowned RE. And as I said at the beginning, don't be afraid. We actually invite those emails to neil@worldrenownedrealestate.com. That's going to do it for this episode. Until next time, do me a favor. Don't be average. Be world renowned.